I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab.
And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, and outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you.
Few matchups in boxing ignite as much excitement as the hypothetical clash between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence "Bud" Crawford. Both represent the absolute peak of their generations, Mayweather with his flawless precision and defensive genius, and Crawford with his versatility, power, and relentless adaptability. The debate isn't just about who's better in the ring, it's about whose legacy stands tallest.
One of the greatest, he's done shit that Floyd Mayweather ain't done.
Like what?
Like what?
Audience that don't know.
He is a two-time undisputed champion. Floyd wasn't a one-time undisputed champion. So he has all the belts in one division and then moved up and got all the belts in another division. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of boxing.
Yes, and he beat the man.
And he beat the man. Let's give Terence Crawford his flowers because everything he said he was going to do,
he done it.
He did.
Mayweather retired with a spotless 50-0 record, one of the most immaculate in boxing history. His career featured victories over champions in 5 divisions, and his uncanny ability to neutralize both aggressive punchers and slick tacticians earned him a reputation as a master of control and artist who turned ring intelligence into domination.
Mayweather stopped Conor McGregor in the 10th round to improve to 50-0 in what he says will be his final fight. I actually believe him this time, Max. What's his legacy?
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. He is never cheated himself. He always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons. Because he's one of the best to ever do it, and because he was always prepared over a very long amateur and pro career. Amazing. Another reason is he carefully selected opponents, knew when and where and when and who to fight, and basically changed the paradigm in boxing. I'll translate. He flipped the script. I mean, really, boxing is basically, and this is just the way it is, and I'm a huge boxing fan, and I make no apologies about it, but it is fans and networks essentially exploiting fighters. That's how it works. We want to, and we demand a level of dedication and risk-taking with your health that's insane, right? Like, someone's getting their head beaten every which way, and if you quit, you don't have heart. You can't be a great fighter, which is true, by the way. It's a blood sport. And Floyd, and usually fighters wind up broke and punch drunk. And Floyd Mayweather flipped the script. He said, no, I'm not going to let the game play me. I'm going to play the game.
Crawford, on the other hand, has crafted a legacy defined by adaptability and destruction. A 2-division undisputed champion, Bud's switch hitting, timing, and calculated aggression have made him nearly impossible to solve. At welterweight, he dismantled elite opposition and inserted himself into conversations once reserved for Mayweather himself.
Everything is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game, and if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the...
Oscar De La Hoya, who faced Mayweather firsthand, believes Floyd remains superior, his record, consistency, and technique making him nearly untouchable. But Canelo Alvarez, who shared the ring with both, boldly disagrees. Canelo called Crawford way better than Floyd, citing Bud's intelligence, adaptability, and modern dominance, his opinion carrying extra weight since he's fought both men.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
You faced Mayweather, what, you were 23 years old, I believe?
22.
And
Just
again,
turned 22.
Yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people will say, oh, he had a lot of fights. Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro, right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession. You gave up the rehydration clause. And I always thought if you would have faced him, you know, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
You know, he deserved the position in that moment because, you know, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved the position in that moment. You know, I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment. But for some reason, doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights, and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way. But you know, we never gonna know. We never gonna know, and I learned what from that fight, and like I say, things happen for a reason.
Shane Mosley, who went the distance with Mayweather, leaned slightly toward Crawford, arguing Bud's complete skill set and unpredictability would trouble Floyd more than most realize. He noted that Crawford's variety, his angles, combinations, and switch hitting presents a danger even a defensive genius like Floyd might struggle to nullify.
Who think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is it.
Still, Mosley doesn't dismiss Mayweather's brilliance. He's repeatedly called Floyd one of the hardest puzzles in boxing history, an athlete with unmatched focus and defensive precision.
Surprised about his power. When you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power, like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. He's not weak, he's strong. Like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion to be.
Mosley recalled his 2010 fight with Mayweather, when he stunned Floyd in round 2 but watched him instantly adjust and dominate every round after. That experience shaped Mosley's respect for Floyd's ability to adapt on the fly. While he admires Crawford's skill, he knows firsthand that Mayweather's control and discipline are extraordinary.
Everybody talk about Shane Cardi, but what was the issue? Shane started hesitating. Why did Shane hesitate? Because he took the best shot and he stood there, held on tight, and on top of that, made Shane feel his strength. And came back out like nothing happened the previous round. Right. But still stone cold. Right. And then Shane ends up being the one hesitating, waiting, and the fight get away from him.
I'm saying Shane hit me with a hell of a shot. Okay. Actually, 2 shots. Okay. But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like, you did said something to him when you grabbed him. I said, you gotta kill me. Oh, shit. I wasn't ready, bro. I said, that was a good one. I said, that was a good one, but you gotta kill me. Wow. So you gotta kill me. And then I'm not gonna lie.
Andre Ward, a close friend and fellow champion, fiercely defends Crawford's standing. He believes Crawford's versatility and composure against top-tier opponents prove he belongs in any greatest of this era conversation.
The most skilled fighter today.
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Tyke Shakur, Devin, Boots.
Is my favorite.
It's a lot of them, and they skillful in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud. Because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. You gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this, it's different, man. There's not a lot of guys like that out there currently. There's a lot of guys that talking, but until you get in that real fire, I'm not saying a guy, you fighting a guy you should beat. I'm saying a guy that it's a 50-50 matchup. We don't really know what you have. You don't even really know what you have.
Ward has even called Crawford the greatest of his generation, saying his dominance, adaptability, and consistent excellence put him on a unique level in modern boxing. After Crawford dismantled Errol Spence Jr., Ward declared that Bud had earned the right to be seen as this era's pound-for-pound king.
We just seen Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford, great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 38, 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great, great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing? Why are we still in the game?
Yeah, I get it. Andre, always good to talk to you. Appreciate it.
Mayweather has spoken about Crawford with a blend of pride and competition. He congratulated Bud for his victories, especially the destruction of Spence, but subtly reminded fans of his own resume and decades of dominance. Floyd sees himself as the standard, and any comparison to Crawford naturally challenges the throne, keeping the debate alive.
I didn't want them to fight. I really like both of those guys. A lot. You know, I had a chance to hang around Earl. I had a chance to hang around Terence. And both guys, class act. It would look like I'm leaning towards one guy because I've boxed one guy before.
It's beautiful to watch, but also tough to watch to see what happened to Errol. Obviously, you don't wish that on,
Nobody.
The
best man won. If I was training him or I was in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't even think he should be fighting at 154.
Really?
I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168.
Wow.
That's just my honest opinion.
Roy Jones Jr. ranks Crawford at or near the top of today's pound-for-pound list. He praised Crawford's reign of dominance but has also questioned aspects of Mayweather's legacy, suggesting there were fighters in different eras who could have tested him more. Regarding Canelo versus Crawford, Roy described Bud as a smaller man capable of defeating bigger, elite fighters, an echo of what he once did himself.
Probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donan. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost to nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost to nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Timothy Bradley went even further, claiming Crawford would beat a prime Mayweather. He cited Bud's timing, power, and ability to adjust mid-fight as key advantages. Still, Bradley has immense respect for Floyd, calling him one of his all-time favorites and the best defensive technician ever. Before Crawford fought Canelo, Bradley warned that a loss for Canelo would hurt his legacy deeply, especially against an older, smaller fighter like Bud, who defied every odd.
Terence Crawford would beat a prime Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Yes, it will be a competitive fight, but Crawford, master thinker just like Floyd. The advantage that Floyd has is that he has great defense. The advantage that Crawford has is that he not only can fight orthodox, he can also he's versatile. He can fish the southpaw stance. And we all know that Floyd don't like to fight southpaws. We know that. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? What happens when you have a guy that can hurt you with either hand? A guy that's powerful and strong like Crawford. A guy that's quick as Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. A guy that knows how to execute that Philly shell. He knows how to bust through that. He'll have enough to beat Floyd, and he'll have enough to gain respect and hurt Floyd too. I don't think he knocks him out, but I think he'll win the close decisions. Hey, I want to know what everybody else.
After defeating Canelo Alvarez, Crawford faced critics directly at the post-fight press conference. He reminded everyone that people doubted him for years, and now that he beat Canelo at super middleweight, they have no excuses left. He said the crowd's favoritism toward Canelo only fueled his motivation, proving that he thrives under pressure and disbelief.
What was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Avanesian, I mean not Avanesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo, to me. To be honest.
Terence. Congratulations.
In a recent twist, Floyd Mayweather hinted that a professional comeback might not be out of the question. Ahead of his exhibition with Mike Tyson in 2026, he told TMZ that talks are happening. While not confirming anything, Floyd said he's feeling sharp and motivated to give fans something special. For the first time in years, he's left the door open, just slightly, to a return that could shake the boxing world.
Life for so long with Floyd fighting this guy, fighting Manny, fighting Conor, and all those, you were just at the center of all these talks for so many years. It's exciting to be back there again. Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's possible.
So who truly wears the crown, Floyd's calculated genius or Crawford's fearless grit? The debate rages on, echoing through gyms, podcasts, and arenas. In the end, perhaps it's not about who's better, but about how two generational masters, one past, one present, continue to push the boundaries of boxing greatness.